The Lord reigns. Let the nations tremble. He sits enthroned between the cherubim. Let the earth shake. Great is the Lord in Zion. He is exalted over all the nations. Let them praise your great and awesome name. He is holy. The King is mighty. He loves justice. You have established equity. In Jacob you have done what is just and right. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his footstool. He is holy. Moses and Aaron were among his priests. Samuel was among those who called on his name. They called on the Lord and he answered them. He spoke to them from the pillar of cloud. They kept his statutes and the decrees he gave them. O Lord our God, you answered them. You were to Israel a forgiving God, though you punished their misdeeds. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his holy mountain. For the Lord our God is holy. There's three things that stand out to me in this psalm. The idea of God's reign and what it means for him to reign over everything, that he's sovereign, that he's ruling over everything, which means he's worthy of praise for all the good that he does, but also he's worthy of reverent awe and trembling because of his power, because of what he ordains, because of what he can do, and also the struggle of recognizing why he allows the things that he does allow. His reign is something that is both comforting and sometimes difficult to wrestle with. But the psalmist starts with the idea of his reign. Now there's 4 stanzas in this psalm, and the first 2 and the last one finish by declaring God's holiness, which I find very interesting. And the 3rd stanza references specifically 3 people, Moses, Aaron, and Samuel. Not that they were the only ones, but though they were signifying people who were engaging with God, who were his intermediaries, his agents, to bring about his righteous reign amongst the people. And the thing for me about the idea of his reign and his holiness is recognizing he's other than us, he's different than us. And while I am in awe of his power and thankful for his grace and for his mercies, that I have to wrestle with why he allows things to happen, but I recognize that he's different than me, and that's good, because man, me reigning would be really, really bad for people. Everyone would be getting pop figures and comic books and things like that, and it just wouldn't be good. So it is good that God reigns, and God is making these decisions, and he's allowing these things, and he's orchestrating things, and he's loving and redeeming and rescuing. One of the primary ways in which this psalm looks at the way God reigns is not just in the way that he is existing in heaven and sitting enthroned between the cherubim, and the earth is shaking, but the righteous acts that God does. It says that he loves justice. He's established equity. In Jacob, another term for Israel, you have done what is just and right. That his righteous acts is part of his reigning, and therefore he is holy. But I love the fact that the psalmist recognizes how God uses people. Moses, Aaron, Samuel, they were his priests, his intermediaries. And we know that the New Testament teaches us that we are all now priests, that we are all now witnesses of God's holiness, of Jesus Christ, and are the intermediaries between God and the rest of the world. And through us, God is a forgiving God, is bringing about his reign and his holiness, and is worthy of being exalted. So my prayer for us is, as we reflect on his reign and on his holiness, that we would be like Moses and Aaron and Samuel, who call on the name of God, who are used by God to bring about his righteous reign and holiness in our families, our communities, our country, and our world.